When you focus on yourself, everything falls into place. Ladies and gentlemen, it is a remarkable thing when a person stops chasing the world and starts focusing on themselves. We live in a society that constantly tells us to look outward, to compare, compete, and conform. We are told that happiness is found in approval from others, in achievements recognized by society, or in the accumulation of things. Yet, ironically, the more we chase external validation, the further we move from true peace and fulfillment. The truth is simple, yet profound. When you focus on yourself, everything else begins to fall into place. Think about it for a moment. How often do we give our energy to situations, people, or goals that do not truly serve us? How often do we invest time and emotion into paths that are not aligned with our inner values? We get so caught up in trying to fix the world around us, in trying to meet other people's expectations, or in seeking success on terms that are not ours, that we forget the one person we are responsible for, ourselves. And in that forgetting, we lose the harmony that allows life to flow effortlessly. Focusing on yourself is not selfish, it is revolutionary. It is the foundation upon which a life of clarity, purpose, and fulfillment is built. When you take the time to understand yourself, to explore your dreams, and to nurture your mind, body, and spirit, you begin to operate from a place of strength rather than scarcity. You no longer wait for circumstances to change or for permission to be happy. Instead, you become the architect of your own life, and the universe starts to respond in ways that reflect your inner alignment. Consider the idea that energy follows attention. Wherever you place your focus, growth follows. When your attention is scattered across endless distractions or other people's agendas, your energy is diluted and your progress slows. But when you turn your gaze inward, when you make yourself a priority, you unlock a power that is unmatched. Suddenly, opportunities seem to appear without effort. Relationships become more meaningful. Your work and personal life begin to align with a natural rhythm because your outer world always mirrors the inner. This focus on self is not a one time decision, it is a commitment to self love, to self awareness, and to consistent growth. It is about setting boundaries that protect your peace, about saying no to things that drain you, and about yes to the things that expand your potential. It is about trusting that as you invest in yourself, life itself will invest back. Ladies and gentlemen, tonight I want to take you on a journey to understand why turning your focus inward is not just beneficial but essential. I want to show you how, by prioritizing yourself, you do not isolate from the world, but instead become the very person the world has been waiting for. When you focus on yourself, everything, your relationships, your career, your purpose, your joy, begins to fall into place in ways you may have never imagined. Self mastery is the cornerstone of a fulfilled and successful life. Before you can influence the world, achieve your goals, or create meaningful relationships, you must first master the person you see in the mirror every morning. Many people spend their entire lives chasing external achievements, wealth, recognition, status, while neglecting the internal landscape that governs all their experiences. But true power, true alignment begins within. Understanding your mind, emotions, habits, and values is the key to unlocking everything else that life has to offer. Self mastery begins with awareness of your thoughts, your reactions, and the patterns that have shaped your life. It requires honesty and courage because facing yourself is not always comfortable. You must ask yourself difficult questions: what motivates me? What fears are holding me back? What beliefs about myself or the world are limiting my growth? By answering these questions, you start to map the territory of your inner world. And once you understand the terrain, you can begin to navigate it with intention rather than reaction. This is why so many people feel stuck. They have external goals and external plans, but they lack internal control. Without self mastery, your life is a ship without a rudder. Circumstances, other people's opinions, and random events dictate the course of your journey. You react to life rather than shaping it. But when you master yourself, when you understand your emotions, manage your thoughts, and act in alignment with your values, you gain the power to steer your own destiny. You no longer drift, you chart your course. One of the most essential aspects of self mastery is emotional control. Emotions are not enemies, they are signals. But uncontrolled emotions, anger, fear, jealousy, or anxiety, can sabotage even the best plans. Self mastery teaches you to observe your emotions without being consumed by them. It allows you to respond to life intentionally rather than impulsively. When you are not a slave to your moods, you can make decisions that serve your highest good, even in challenging situations. You can maintain clarity when others panic, and you can act with confidence when others hesitate. Self mastery also requires the mastery of habits. Habits are the building blocks of daily life, and they are more powerful than motivation alone. Anyone can feel motivated for a day, a week, or even a month, but habits determine the long term trajectory of your life. By consciously shaping your habits, your morning routines, your work ethic, your approach to health, your study habits, you shape the person you become. Every small choice repeated consistently compounds over time, turning effort into effortless excellence. Equally important is the mastery of the mind. Thoughts are the seed of every action, and uncontrolled thoughts can lead to unnecessary suffering. Self mastery involves training your mind to focus, to reject negativity, and to cultivate beliefs that support your growth. When you focus on solutions rather than problems, on opportunities rather than obstacles, your mental state becomes a powerful tool rather than a source of limitation. This mental discipline allows you to remain calm in chaos, creative in uncertainty, and resilient in the face of setbacks. Another critical aspect of self mastery is understanding your values and aligning your actions with them. Without this alignment, you may achieve success according to society's standards, yet feel unfulfilled. Knowing what truly matters to you, whether it is integrity, freedom, growth, or service, allows you to make decisions that bring lasting satisfaction. When your daily actions reflect your deepest values, you create inner harmony. And harmony is the magnet that draws opportunities and people who resonate with your purpose. Self mastery is not about perfection, it is about progress. It is about the willingness to examine yourself continually, to confront your weaknesses, and to celebrate your strengths. Every moment of awareness, every effort to improve, compounds over time. Like a sculptor chiseling away at a block of stone, self mastery is the art of shaping yourself into a being capable of achieving your highest potential. When you commit to self mastery, life begins to change in subtle but profound ways. Relationships improve because you interact from a place of understanding rather than neediness. Work becomes more productive because you can focus without distraction. Challenges that once felt overwhelming become opportunities for growth because you have the internal tools to navigate them. Your outer world becomes a reflection of your inner discipline, and as you gain mastery over yourself, the external chaos has less and less power to disrupt your peace. One of the most powerful aspects of self mastery is that it creates freedom. Freedom from the opinions of others, freedom from fear, freedom from the cycle of reacting to circumstances. When you are mastered, you are no longer a victim of your life. You are its author. You choose your responses, your goals, and your actions with intention. And as a result, everything you pursue aligns more easily with who you truly are. Self mastery also enhances your ability to handle setbacks. Life is unpredictable, and no one is immune to challenges. But a person who has cultivated self mastery responds to difficulties with composure and clarity. They learn from failure instead of being crushed by it. They pivot instead of panicking. And in doing so, they turn obstacles into stepping stones that elevate them to higher levels of achievement. Finally, self mastery is the foundation for lasting success and fulfillment. Without it, accomplishments may feel hollow and external recognition may bring only temporary satisfaction. But when you master yourself, your mind, your emotions, your habits, your values, you create a life that is not dependent on circumstances. Success becomes inevitable because it is built on the solid ground of internal strength. Everything outside you begins to fall into place because you have created the internal conditions for alignment, clarity, and growth. Every action, every outcome, every experience in your life begins with focus. Energy follows attention. What this means is simple yet profound. Wherever you place your attention, your energy naturally flows and growth follows. Most people, however, place their attention on distractions, worries, or things they cannot control. They scatter their energy across multiple directions, and as a result, progress feels slow, life feels chaotic, and opportunities seem elusive. But when you learn to direct your attention intentionally, you harness a force more powerful than luck, talent, or circumstance. Attention is like a spotlight. Wherever you shine it, life begins to respond. When you focus on possibilities instead of problems, your mind begins to see opportunities that were invisible before. When you focus on your goals rather than your fears, your actions begin to align with the results you desire. Your energy is not infinite, but your attention acts as a conduit, guiding your energy to where it will have the greatest impact. That is why those who achieve extraordinary results do not simply work harder, they focus harder. They place their attention where it matters most, and their energy follows naturally, amplifying every effort. Consider how attention works in daily life. When someone obsesses over what they lack, money, recognition, love, their energy disperses into anxiety, self doubt, and frustration. Nothing grows in that state. But when they shift their attention to what they can control, their skills, their mindset, their daily habits, they generate a powerful current of energy that creates change. The shift is subtle but decisive. Life does not respond to scattered worry, it responds to concentrated energy. Attention is the steering wheel, and energy is the engine that moves you forward. Focus also determines how you experience the world. Two people can face the same situation and respond entirely differently because their attention shapes their perception. When your attention is fixed on lack, limitation, or criticism, your reality mirrors those thoughts. But when your attention is fixed on growth, gratitude, and possibility, even challenges become stepping stones. You begin to notice solutions where others see only obstacles. You see opportunities where others see only barriers. This is the power of directing your attention deliberately. Energy follows attention not only in thoughts but also in relationships and interactions. If you focus your energy on nurturing positive, constructive relationships, those connections grow stronger. If you focus on negativity, gossip, or resentment, the same energy amplifies conflict and disconnection. Your attention acts as a magnet, drawing experiences and people that correspond to where your energy is flowing. That is why it is essential to choose carefully what and who you give your attention to. Your life will naturally mirror the focus of your mind. This principle also applies to goals and achievements. Many people work hard but fail to see results because their attention is divided. They want multiple outcomes. They are distracted by what others are doing, or they are consumed by doubt. Their energy becomes diluted and results are delayed. On the other hand, when someone focuses fully on a clear, singular objective, their energy converges and progress accelerates. The mind begins to notice opportunities, the body follows with action, and the universe aligns with the clarity of focus. Energy is a force multiplier when attention is precise. One of the most powerful ways to harness attention is through visualization and deliberate focus. Athletes, leaders, and high achievers understand that seeing the end result vividly in the mind concentrates energy toward its manifestation. When you immerse yourself in the feeling of success, of achievement, or of joy, your attention feeds your energy in that direction. You begin to unconsciously take actions aligned with your vision, and opportunities appear as though the universe itself is responding to your clarity. Attention also shapes your mental and emotional state. Where your attention goes, your emotions follow. If you dwell on fear or regret, your energy becomes trapped in resistance and stagnation. But if you train yourself to focus on growth, gratitude, and solutions, your energy rises and your mind gains clarity. Emotional energy and mental energy are inseparable, and both are directed by attention. Mastering where you focus is the first step in mastering your inner life. Another crucial aspect is protecting your attention. In a world full of distractions, social media, endless notifications, noise, and other people's agendas, it is easy to scatter your energy without even realizing it. Every interruption divides your attention and weakens your ability to manifest results. Guarding your attention is not selfish, it is strategic. By consciously choosing what deserves your focus, you maintain a reservoir of energy that can be directed toward what truly matters, creating momentum and flow in your life. Attention is also cumulative. Small, consistent focus on the right things compounds over time. Just like money multiplies with compound interest, energy multiplies when attention is applied consistently. Every hour spent focused on your skills, your growth, your goals, or your well being adds up. The effect is exponential. Momentum builds, confidence grows, and life begins to align with your intention. Conversely, scattered attention produces scattered results. Small diversions may seem insignificant at first, but over time they erode energy, diminish focus, and slow progress. Finally, the principle that energy follows attention reminds us that we are co creators of our reality. Life does not happen to us, it responds to where we place our focus. If your attention is on fear, limitation, or what is wrong, your energy feeds to those conditions and they expand. If your attention is on growth, possibility, and solutions, your energy feeds those conditions and life begins to cooperate. The key to transformation, to success, and to fulfillment is not working harder, but directing attention with clarity and purpose. Energy follows attention, and when attention is disciplined, focused, and intentional, results naturally follow. Our boundaries and priorities are the invisible architecture of a successful and fulfilled life. Without them, even the most talented, hardworking, or driven individuals can find themselves overwhelmed, exhausted, or trapped in situations that do not serve them. Boundaries are not walls to keep life out. They are the structure that protects your energy, your focus, and your growth. Priorities are the compass that ensures every action you take moves you closer to your purpose. Together, they create the clarity and control needed to live intentionally rather than reactively. The first step in establishing boundaries is understanding your limits. Your time, energy, and attention are finite resources, yet many people give them away freely, often to situations or people that drain them. Saying yes to everything and everyone may seem noble, but it comes at a cost. Your peace, your focus, and ultimately your ability to achieve your goals. Boundaries are the conscious choice to protect what matters most. They are a declaration that your life, your energy, and your growth are valuable, and that they will not be sacrificed for distractions, obligations, or demands that do not align with your priorities. Boundaries begin with clarity. You must identify what is acceptable and what is not. This applies to relationships, work, habits, and personal commitments. Some people tolerate behavior that diminishes their self-worth or patience, believing that compromise is necessary for peace. But without clear boundaries, peace becomes an illusion, and resentment grows quietly beneath the surface. Setting limits is not selfish, it is self-respect. It is an acknowledgement that you are responsible for your life and your energy, and that your inner world is sacred. Priorities, on the other hand, are the deliberate ordering of what deserves your attention and effort. Life constantly presents options, obligations, and distractions, but not all of them are equally important. Prioritization is the art of choosing actions that move you closer to your goals and aligning your time with your values. Without priorities, even well intentioned efforts can become wasted energy. You may find yourself busy yet stagnant. You may be achieving yet unfulfilled. Priorities are the lens through which focus and energy are directed intentionally toward what truly matters. Together, boundaries and priorities reinforce one another. A clear boundary protects your time and energy, allowing you to pursue your priorities without interference. A well-defined priority gives purpose to your boundaries, ensuring they are not arbitrary walls but strategic tools. For example, if personal growth is a priority, setting boundaries around distractions, toxic influences, or unnecessary obligations becomes a natural and necessary action. Similarly, if meaningful relationships are a priority, boundaries ensure that your attention and energy are invested in people who respect, nurture, and inspire you rather than deplete you. Setting boundaries also requires courage. It often means saying no to requests, obligations, or expectations that conflict with your priorities. Many people fear that saying no will lead to rejection, conflict, or disapproval. But living without boundaries leads to a life of compromise, stress, and slow erosion of your goals. Every time you say no to what does not serve you, you are saying yes to your growth, your peace, and your purpose. Boundaries are the framework that allows you to be fully present for what matters, rather than scattered across what does not. Boundaries are not static, they evolve as you grow. What was acceptable yesterday may no longer serve you today. What you tolerate in one season may become unnecessary or harmful in the next. Regularly evaluating your boundaries ensures that your energy is consistently protected and that your priorities remain aligned with your highest values. This requires self awareness, reflection, and the willingness to make adjustments without guilt. Growth is dynamic, and boundaries must be dynamic as well. Prioritization also requires self discipline. Life will constantly offer tempting distractions, urgent tasks that feel important but are not aligned with your goals. Without discipline, it is easy to be swept along by the urgent, leaving the important unattended. Priorities are the lens through which decisions are filtered, the measuring stick for where energy should be invested. When you consistently act according to your priorities, life begins to flow rather than fight you. Your efforts are multiplied because they are focused. Your goals are achieved faster because distractions are minimized. And your inner satisfaction grows because every action aligns with your purpose. Boundaries and priorities are also essential for relationships. Without them, relationships can become draining rather than nurturing. By clearly communicating your limits and what is important to you, you foster respect and mutual understanding. Healthy relationships thrive when both parties understand and honor each other's boundaries. Similarly, by prioritizing connections that bring positivity, support, and growth, you cultivate a circle that strengthens your journey rather than undermines it. Relationships are not only about giving, but also about preserving your energy to give where it matters most. Another critical dimension is personal well being. Boundaries ensure you have space for rest, reflection, and renewal. Priorities ensure that self care is not an afterthought, but a deliberate choice. Without these, burnout becomes inevitable, and no level of success can compensate for a drained mind or body. Protecting your energy, focusing on what matters, and consistently aligning actions with priorities is the ultimate act of self respect. It is the foundation upon which lasting achievement and fulfillment are built. Boundaries and priorities also cultivate clarity of purpose. When your life is structured around what is important, confusion diminishes. Decisions become easier because they are filtered through the lens of what truly matters. Your actions gain coherence, your energy is concentrated, and momentum builds. You no longer chase after fleeting distractions or conform to external expectations. Instead, your focus becomes an engine driving intentional progress. Ultimately, boundaries and depriorities are tools of empowerment. They give you the freedom to shape your life rather than be shaped by it. They allow you to create space for growth, focus your energy on meaningful endeavors, and cultivate relationships and experiences that elevate you. By defining what is acceptable, choosing what matters, and consistently acting according to those choices, you lay the groundwork for a life that is not only successful but deeply fulfilling. Self love and confidence are the pillars upon which every meaningful life is built. Without them, even the brightest opportunities can feel out of reach, and even the most talented individuals can struggle to manifest their true potential. Many people confuse self love with vanity or selfishness, and confidence with arrogance. But the truth is that genuine self love and authentic confidence are deeply empowering, humble, and transformative. They are the forces that allow you to navigate life with clarity, courage, and purpose. Self love begins with acceptance. To love yourself is to embrace all parts of who you are, the strengths, the weaknesses, the successes, and the mistakes. It is the refusal to condemn or diminish yourself for being human. Many spend their lives chasing perfection, measuring themselves against others, or dwelling on what they perceive as flaws. But perfection is an illusion, and comparison is a trap. True self love is rooted in understanding that your value is inherent and that every experience, every success, and every setback is an opportunity for growth. It is in this acceptance that confidence naturally emerges. Confidence, in turn, is the outward expression of self love. When you value yourself, when you understand your worth, you no longer seek validation from others. You act from a place of inner assurance rather than external approval. Confidence is not about proving yourself to anyone, it is about knowing who you are, trusting your instincts, and moving forward despite uncertainty. It is the steady calm in the midst of chaos, the unwavering belief that you are capable of handling whatever life presents. Self love is also a practice of nurturing your mind, body, and spirit. It is not a passive feeling but an active commitment. Mentally, self love involves choosing thoughts that support your growth, focusing on possibilities rather than limitations, and speaking to yourself with kindness rather than criticism. Emotionally, it is the willingness to honor your feelings, to acknowledge them without judgment, and to seek experiences that uplift rather than deplete you. Physically, it is caring for your body through rest, movement, and nutrition, recognizing that your physical vessel is the foundation of everything you do. Spiritually, self love is the alignment with your values, your purpose, and the truth that your life has inherent meaning. Confidence and self love are inseparable from action. Belief alone is not enough, it must be paired with deliberate steps toward your goals. When you act in alignment with your values and your abilities, confidence grows and self love deepens. Every time you honor your word, follow through on your commitments, and face challenges with courage, you reinforce the truth that you are capable and deserving. In this way, confidence is both the byproduct and the fuel of consistent self love. Another key aspect of self love is the ability, thank you, to set standards. When you value yourself, you refuse to settle for less than you deserve. In relationships, work, and life in general, this does not mean rigidity or entitlement, it means clarity and discernment. You learn to recognize what supports your growth and what drains it. You choose to invest your energy where it is respected, appreciated, and nurtured. By setting standards, you are not only protecting yourself, but also creating an environment in which your confidence can thrive. Self love and confidence also influence how others perceive you. People are naturally drawn to those who exude inner assurance and self respect. When you act from a place of love and confidence, you attract relationships, opportunities, and experiences that reflect that energy. Conversely, a lack of self love can manifest as insecurity, hesitation, or dependence on external validation, which can repel the very things you desire. The way you feel about yourself internally sets the tone for your external reality. It is important to recognize that self love and confidence are not fixed traits, they are cultivated. They grow through daily choices, intentional reflection, and consistent practice. Each time you choose to speak kindly to yourself instead of criticizing, each time you take a step toward a goal despite fear, each time you honor your needs without guilt, you strengthen the foundation of self love and confidence. Over time, these choices compound, creating a resilient sense of worth and assurance that cannot be shaken by external circumstances. Self love also allows for forgiveness of yourself and of others. To love yourself is to understand that mistakes are part of growth, to that failures are lessons, and that letting go of resentment is essential for peace. Confidence grows when you release the weight of past regrets and act from a place of freedom rather than limitation. Forgiveness is not weakness, it is a recognition of your inherent value and a refusal to let past events define your present or future. Another aspect of confidence is the ability to embrace vulnerability. Many people mistakenly believe that showing vulnerability is a sign of weakness. In reality, vulnerability is a testament to self love. It requires trust in yourself and your worth to be open, to communicate honestly, and to engage with life authentically. When you are confident in your value, you are free to be genuine without fear of judgment or rejection. This authenticity strengthens relationships, fosters connection, and opens doors to opportunities that require courage and integrity. Self love and confidence are also deeply connected to resilience. Life is unpredictable and challenges are inevitable. When you love yourself, You treat setbacks not as reflections of your worth, but as temporary obstacles to overcome. When you are confident, you approach difficulties with problem solving energy rather than fear or hesitation. Together, they form a foundation that allows you to navigate adversity with grace, to learn from experience, and to emerge stronger and more aligned with your purpose. Finally, self love and confidence are transformative forces. They do not merely affect how you see yourself, they shape how you live, how you engage with the world, and the level of fulfillment you experience. When you invest in loving yourself and cultivating confidence, you no longer rely on external circumstances to define your happiness. You become the source of your own empowerment, the creator of your own path, and the magnet for opportunities that resonate with your highest self. Your energy, focus, and actions align in ways that make life flow effortlessly, and everything you desire becomes more attainable because you are operating from a foundation of strength and clarity. When you focus on yourself, nurture your growth, and act in alignment with your values, you begin to notice a remarkable phenomenon. Life starts to align effortlessly. Things that once felt difficult, delayed, or impossible suddenly seem to flow with ease. Opportunities appear at the right time, relationships deepen naturally. Goals that required struggle and stress before now unfold almost organically. This is not magic, it is the natural result of inner alignment. When your thoughts, emotions, habits, and priorities are in harmony, your external world becomes a mirror of that inner state. Life aligning effortlessly begins with clarity of self. When you know who you are, what you want, and what you stand for, your actions no longer conflict with your purpose. Decisions that once caused hesitation or stress become obvious and simple. Your energy is no longer wasted on distractions or confusion, it is concentrated where it has the most impact. When internal alignment is present, the external world simply follows suit, responding to the focus, intention, and consistency you cultivate within yourself. This alignment also emerges from trust in yourself and in the process of life. Many people struggle because they try to force outcomes, control every detail, or rush Tim Elines. But when you have mastered your inner world, you understand that your role is to act intentionally while allowing life to respond. Life is a partnership, not a battle. When you focus on being your best self, life rewards that effort by placing the right people, opportunities, and circumstances in your path. Struggle diminishes because your energy is aligned with natural flow rather than resistance. Effortless alignment does not mean passivity. It does not mean waiting idly for things to happen. It means acting with clarity, purpose, and focus while releasing the need to manipulate or control every outcome. It is the combination of consistent effort and inner calm. When your actions are guided by intention rather than desperation, when your choices are rooted in self mastery, confidence, and priorities, momentum naturally builds. Life begins to respond to your energy rather than to random circumstance. One of the most powerful aspects of this alignment is synchronicity. When your inner world is organized and your energy is directed, coincidences stop being random. People you need to meet appear, opportunities that match your skills and ambitions present themselves, and solutions to problems arrive in ways that feel almost miraculous. This is not luck. It is the universe reflecting the order and focus you have cultivated within yourself. When your internal vibration matches the life you want to create, external circumstances naturally follow. Effortless alignment is also evident in relationships. When you are centered, confident, and focused on your growth, you attract people who resonate with your energy. Toxic or draining relationships naturally fade because our attention is no longer invested in them. Positive, supportive, and meaningful connections are drawn to you. By prioritizing yourself, establishing boundaries, and nurturing your own development, you create a magnetic energy that aligns your interactions with your values and intentions. Relationships begin to thrive because they are no longer forced. They emerge naturally in harmony with your life path. Another key aspect of life aligning effortlessly is clarity and opportunities. When your priorities and goals are defined, It becomes easier to recognize the paths that serve you and the ones that do not. Distractions that once seemed tempting lose their power because your focus is anchored in purpose. Decisions are made with confidence, action is taken with precision, and results manifest with less friction. The world seems to cooperate with you, not because it owes you, but because you have aligned yourself with the principles that allow success to flow naturally. Effortless alignment also reduces stress and anxiety. When you act from a place of inner harmony, you no longer feel the constant pressure to push, struggle, or compete unnecessarily. Your energy is conserved for meaningful effort, not wasted on resisting circumstances or worrying about outcomes. Life's challenges are handled with calm and clarity because you trust in your preparation, your skills, and the natural flow of events. Alignment does not prevent obstacles, but it allows you to navigate them gracefully, turning potential setbacks into growth opportunities. Consistency is another critical factor. Life aligns effortlessly, not through occasional effort, but through sustained alignment. Daily habits, repeated choices, and ongoing self care compound over time to create a strong foundation for effortless flow. Just as a river carves its path through persistent current, your consistent focus and intentional actions create pathways for opportunities and results to manifest. The longer you maintain alignment, the smoother life becomes, and the more effortless it feels. Effortless alignment also thrives on adaptability. Life is dynamic and circumstances change. The key is not rigid control, but flexible focus. When you are deeply aligned internally, you can pivot, adjust, and adapt without losing momentum. Your priorities remain intact, your energy remains directed, and your path continues to unfold with ease. Resistance diminishes because alignment allows you to flow with circumstances rather than against them, turning obstacles into detours that ultimately serve your growth. Gratitude and awareness further enhance effortless alignment. When you consistently acknowledge the blessings, opportunities, and growth present in your life, you amplify the energy that attracts more of the same. Gratitude shifts your attention from lack to abundance, from struggle to flow, reinforcing the alignment you have cultivated internally. Awareness allows you to recognize the subtle signs, opportunities, and connections that life places before you, ensuring that nothing valuable goes unnoticed. Ultimately, life aligns effortlessly when your inner world is ordered, intentional, and strong. Your focus, energy, priorities, boundaries, self love, and company. Infidence all converge to create a powerful internal current. This current shapes your perception, guides your actions, and magnetizes experiences, relationships, and opportunities that resonate with your highest self. Challenges may still arise, but they no longer derail you because your foundation is solid. Life moves from being a struggle to being a collaborative flow, where your inner alignment dictates the rhythm of your external reality. Effortless alignment is the natural result of self mastery. It is the reward of consistent focus on growth, clarity in priorities, nurturing of self worth, and cultivation of confidence. When you dedicate yourself to these principles, life no longer feels chaotic or forced. Instead, it unfolds in harmony with your inner state. Opportunities come at the right time, relationships reflect your energy, and success becomes a reflection of the alignment you maintain within. The harder you focus on being your best self, the more effortlessly life conspires to bring your goals, desires, and purpose into reality.